All right, everybody, welcome back to another episode of the podcast with the long name. We decided to, what was it? We couldn't come up with the whatever. You guys
All
know
right,
the shit.
I want to throw it in there right now. I think we should call ourselves the four BC, four bros chatting. What do y'all think? Okay, I'm throwing it in there, baby. They don't want to let your brothers shine. I gotta say what it is. I love that name, four bros chatting. Cause what more are we? We are four bros chatting. What
Some
do you
people might take it a certain way, though.
Four bros, one mic.
Oh, the king of degeneracy strikes again. The king of degeneracy never fails.
It took you a second. It took you a second.
Like,
You're like, wait a minute, what does he mean?
What would that even...
I personally think that there's like a little bit of novelty in the fact that we have this long-ass, unrememberable name, you know?
But how long does a novelty last is the question.
As long as it has quality that you maintain it with.
True.
I'll name this podcast later.
And then he wanted to rebrand.
The rebrand has been pretty freaking successful.
100 episodes later.
I wanted to call it On the Pulse. I thought that was good.
I just feel like there got to be something called On the Pulse. That's just too good of a name.
Yeah.
Yeah, but like there was, but it was like it's some podcast that doesn't even exist anymore. It was made like 10 years ago.
Copyrights don't go away.
Oncologists or some shit.
Copyrights don't go away.
Yeah.
Who says they copyrighted it? Like, we don't know that.
You want to
Four
gamble?
bros, one mic.
All right, everybody. So welcome back to another episode of We Created a Podcast and couldn't come up with a name, so we settled on this sentence being the title. I am one of your many amazing co-hosts, Rob DiLucci, and in no particular order of greatness, I got my guys with me. It's Chris Coho with the bitches in tow. How you doing today?
Doing great. Got my pole here, getting ready to slide.
Yo,
nice.
Am I saying your last name right? Like, am I not butchering that?
To properly pronounce my last name, Coelho.
Coelho.
Oh, see, I didn't even know that.
Oh, so Chris Quaaludes. Gotcha.
Quaaludes, yeah.
Don't give Shintai any ideas, please. No.
All right, production team.
Yeah. No, we
Already
can't even. I just realized what we're doing. That gotta go.
Okay.
Go. Oh, yeah.
So, with this filthy bastard next to me is, you know him, you love him, has the most infectious laugh in the world for Neverworld. How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling very well, thank you. I don't know why the fuck I grabbed my candle, but hey, handle your candle.
You're feeling a certain way.
Oh,
Last,
snizzle.
certainly not least, Shintai the Wintai. What's up?
I'm doing something.
I'm here.
Well, all right. So for those of you that are probably wondering, like, why are these guys still wearing the same outfits from the last podcast? Well, let me tell you something.
Because we don't change.
Never.
We're like the anime characters that never change their clothes.
No amount of money can cause
that would
us
be
to change.
disgusting, though. Imagine, like, every single episode for years and years, we wearing the same exact. Like, well, it'd be dedicated, but.
I gotta rep My Chemical Romance no matter what.
Do you guys remember when, like, the show Doug? And he like, and he like goes into his closet and it's like the same outfit.
Yo, that was dude, Rob. That was the episode where everyone started dressing like Doug.
Was it that episode?
I think it was where everyone started, and then Doug was trying to make a point, like, and he brought all his friends to his room, and he showed his closet, like, look, I've always been wearing this, and they were like, oh, you're just bragging because you have these designer clothes.
Tough question right now. Tough question. Doug or Hey Arnold?
Hey
Arnold, easy.
Hey Arnold
I was a bigger Doug fan than Hey Arnold, but I watched both.
That's like 2 episodes in a row now that you just like saying some bullshit. Like,
what?
That shit's like Chris, what's going on?
You got me confused with Chris.
Nah,
bro.
Doug over Hey Arnold.
Yeah. Hey Arnold to me was like, I liked it, but
okay, wait, hold on. So Gerald or Skeeter?
Yo, I swear to God, stop fucking reading my mind, bro. What the fuck?
Gerald was the one that
stop reading my mind, dude.
I'm trying to remember. Gerald was the one that always got hurt, right?
No, that's Eugene.
Gerald.
Eugene?
Gerald was the dude with the big afro. He dressed
Big
like.
afro.
Remember when he was the apple
Oh.
and Arnold was the banana?
He
Was
knew
it
all.
Yeah,
he-
yeah.
He, knew all the
I
urban
love that
legends. He was
picture.
basically the hood keeper.
Yo.
Yo, that
Okay,
Yo,
okay.
I would argue right now that Gerald was a little more hood and Skeeter was more suburban.
yes.
Yeah, I would think Skeeter's like
Am,
your
am I
typical,
off on
like,
that?
No, you're right.
No. Skeeter would be like your straight up white boy.
I mean, because there's all right. Wait. No, because Skeeter was like is confirmed black, right?
Black. Yeah.
So
Oh, really?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
So when you have you gotta remember, there's also like
Yo, so what was Roger in there? Because Roger was like green, but
I don't know what he was supposed to be. Probably, I've been wondering, like, do you guys think there's like a noticeable correlation between like video games and anime?
Yes.
I mean they're
Especially
like
when
cousins.
Especially when they have video games based on anime.
All right, so video games based on anime is like
And anime based on video games, vice versa. I mean,
Yes.
yeah, they're literally like. I mean, for example, like I've spent the last fucking 12 years with anime on one screen, gaming on the other when I have time. Like that's just. I don't know, and
Yeah.
it's dope that if you think about it like this, gaming was the big brother to anime's little brother in the West in terms of gaming knocked down a lot of nerddom doors. Like there was a lot of layers of barriers for being a nerd and being accepted as a nerd that gaming knocked down so that anime could actually make its way.
I strongly believe that if it wasn't for the PS1 and especially the
That's
PS2,
two.
I feel like if gaming would have just continued with like with Nintendo only, we would not be where we are today. It would not be as culturally accepted.
No,
Nintendo
I don't believe
with a
that.
whole different. No. Oh, are you kidding me? PS2, where a DVD player inside, where I could game and then watch a movie, that shit changed everything.
Yeah, but then we got GameCube. You
But
gotta
that was
so
Nintendo. Nintendo
that's
started fucking
fine.
up.
That's fine, but before we got PlayStation, which was on discs, we had Nintendo 64, which gave us polygons.
I'd still say
It
like
did, but like,
Nintendo has always been the innovator of the entirety
of the
gaming industry.
technology, but not of the graphics, not of the things that
Doesn't
appeal to
matter.
mainstream
Doesn't-
America that
Doesn't
blew it
matter.
up.
It doesn't matter though. You said that we wouldn't be where we are today, but do we get 3D polygon gaming without Nintendo? Probably not, for a while.
I am not trying to.
I'm talking forever.
diminish- I am not trying to diminish Nintendo. Nintendo is extremely influential, extremely important.
Motion
but-
motion sensing and gaming, Nintendo.
Yeah,
so
but
what you're
but we're
trying to
talking-
tell me? No. What you're trying to tell me is that Final Fantasy bred a generation of pussies.
Is
Some
this like a
people ju-
flashback scene?
Some people just want to watch the world burn.
So excluding anime video game adaptations, like how there goes the forever laugh counter.
It's just like rolling like crazy right now.
Oh shit, yo.
I'm telling you right now, I'm not the one gonna be like searching through our videos to do a counter.
That's fine.
Whoever wants that task, you go for it. It's
the
not gonna
fans,
be.
the fans will take care of it for us.
I feel like if you're an anime fan, chances are very fucking good that you also like to play video games. Maybe not as much as watching anime, but I'd be very shocked if you also were like, yeah, I like to play some video games. Oh yeah, I like to play, the JoJo fighting game or whatever.
I don't think that's true.
You don't think that's true?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that again? I just kind of, I don't know, I just kept thinking about Final Fantasy.
What I'm saying is, I'm not saying this applies to every anime fan, obviously, but what I'm saying is, chances are, if you're an anime fan, then you probably also like video games,
But
Maybe
not vice versa.
Not vice versa.
Yeah.
Being a video game fan does not necessarily mean you're an anime fan.
But I
agree
think
with
video game, like, because now anything damn near has a fucking video game. A $20 phone can get you pretty decent gaming experiences off the App Store. So now it's so, like, anime is starting to make its way where now you got Crunchyroll and all the streaming things or whatever, but gaming has been in the mainstream mind for a lot longer than anime. So, I think it'll eventually balance itself out and it'll really become a thing, but it's still, anime is still, as much as it's made waves, there's still a certain level of hesitancy from, a lot of groups of people that is like, once those barriers get completely knocked down, then it'll be damn near unanimous of, if you're an anime fan, you're a gaming fan, vice versa as well.
I think video games and anime had an even longer tie together than maybe we're even thinking about, because I was just starting to think about Street Fighter. Even though Street Fighter is originally a game,
Right.
of course they've made so many
That's a
anime
good one.
adaptations on. Yeah.
Mhm.
And those
That
were on
first-
all the consoles.
Dude, that first anime movie is still good. That Street Fighter anime movie, oh, so fucking good.
But
Yeah.
the live action was even better.
Jean-Claude
that
Van
one.
Damme? That one?
Yo, shout out to
No.
Van Damme. Don't disparage Van Damme.
No,
No, I love Van Damme.
No, the
He's-
Legend of
he's a
Chun-Li.
Oh, that
shut
one
up.
sucked.
Yo, you just pissed
Oh.
Shintai off right now. Look at, I see it in his
Fuck
face.
outta here.
Dude. Okay, whoa. I have something to say on that. I actually sat down and watched that movie because I wanted a Street Fighter movie so bad.
Hold on. Ew, what are you doing? I'm not letting that go. That is fucking amazing.
Okay, between the Legend of Chun-Li and Dragon Ball Evolution, which one are you watching?
Honestly, Evolution is actually better. And that pains me to
He
say
said it,
that.
not me.
I have a whole video dedicated to how much I hated Evolution. And
Cause just
Yeah.
break it down. Like I think a lot of people don't realize that Chris is a really big Dragon Ball fan. Like he's not just like, he really loves Dragon Ball.
yes, big time. Yeah, it is by like, as much as I keep saying like Steins Gate's my favorite anime of all time, or to me, actually, I should rephrase that. Steins Gate is the best anime of all time, but my favorite anime of all time is Dragon Ball.
Fate Zero said what up.
Fate Zero says
All the
hi.
JoJo fans are like barging in right now. Haven't you heard of JoJo?
Yo, what the fuck, man? If you read part 7, you would fucking know that you're just uncultured piece of shit.
What about Aizen?
Everything. We're gonna be talking about tires at one given point, and you just gotta throw that in there. But what about Aizen?
We'll just need like an overlay of like Aizen like sitting in the rain. Oh, you know like that Keanu Reeves on the bench meme? We need an
put
Aizen
Aizen's
on the
face
bench.
Oh.
Yo, shout out to the Chun-Li shower scene in the Street Fighter anime movie.
Let me look it up.
Yeah. Oh, but yo, okay. The ending of that is it Chun-Li or what was the name of that movie? The Street Fighter.
Legend.
It was like
Legend
Legacy of
of
Chun-Li or
Chun-Li.
Legend of Chun-Li
Yeah.
or some
Yes.
shit. Where they implied that we were going to get Ken and Ryu.
Yes. I will never forget the ending to that movie. They literally ran out of
Not bad,
budget.
Shintai. Not bad.
They literally ran out of budget, and when she was going to use the Hadouken, literally they used a picture, like not even effect, a picture, a still picture that they literally just used Ken Burns to stretch out in front of the screen to do Hadouken.
Wow, that's fucking terrible.
Yeah, like go on YouTube.
So they
and
pulled
watch
the Ava.
Yeah, like go on YouTube and watch the ending scene of that movie, and it is disgusting. Like I can't
I
believe.
see Shintai's pissed off at what I said. And the Ava, where the animation budget went to hell, and he was just sitting in a room.
Okay, but they didn't take a picture and then like I know the effect that he's talking about though.
No, what I'm saying is basically that they said fuck everything after some glorious looking shit. Well, it wasn't glorious in the other, but you get what I'm saying.
Well,
Could've
the
been
last two episodes supposedly they ran out of budget and yeah, it's
Maybe that could be the same thing. Because why else would you Ken Burns a fucking Hadouken?
they
I
probably
mean,
did run out of money. Yeah.
Couldn't have been worse than the Evolution Kamehameha.
Chris,
Yeah,
comment?
he had to think about it. He had to think about
I was like, I was gonna say I wanted to sarcastically say Dragon Ball Evolution the best movie of all time.
Nah, I don't think you could let your heart take it.
Oh,
So Aizen. Oh shit.
All right, guys. So
The greatest anime villain, clearly.
who wins, Goku from Evolution or Aizen?
Goku from Evolution, obviously.
Haruhi Suzumiya or Aizen?
He's yes,
Aizen.
Goku from Dragon Ball Evolution is clearly the better villain.
Sinbad outdoes Aizen.
Yeah. Okay. So
Yo,
there's
people
actually
gonna get pissed.
so I'm actually glad we started off with video games. There's been a lot of video game news going on in the last couple of weeks. One being that there has been a new Pokemon game. Well, the new Pokemon game has already been announced. Have you guys seen the new trailer for the game?
Well, funny you mention it. I have.
Hmm. Well, since these two
Take it away,
uncultured
Chris.
dweebs have not been up to par with
Man.
the new Pokemon content,
Man,
Oh no,
Chris.
the trailer? Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I saw that shit. Yeah.
you did?
I'm sorry, dude,
Yeah,
but I
well,
haven't
you
played
linked it in
Pokemon
our room.
Yellow.
You linked it to us.
That's why I said it like
eh,
that.
Doesn't mean you guys watched it.
My
Oh,
guy,
yeah.
I haven't played Pokemon since Yellow.
Shout out to
Yellow.
Pokemon. Shout out to Pokemon Yellow.
I didn't
Dude,
even.
yeah.
I
All
wanted
right.
to play Gold and Silver, but like I couldn't get my hands on it, and then I just dropped off.
It's like whole ass.
Damn.
Never mind.
I blame Final Fantasy.
So Shinsai is still in the
Wow,
Stone
nice.
Age. What did you guys think of the new trailer?
So I think there's three. I'm a big Pokemon fan. I play pretty much all the games.
Yes.
I don't game as much as I used to, but I will always set aside time for the new Pokemon game and a new Zelda game. I will
Yeah.
always set a time for those
Yes.
games.
Yes.
But for the new trailer, I think all three starters look like shit. I think the designs are horrible. But in terms of the thing that got me actually excited for this one is the fact that they actually have that co-op.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. When you brought up co-op, I was like, okay, that's pretty cool.
Mhm.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That would be fire to actually go through a Pokemon journey with something. That would be fire as fuck. Wow.
Yeah,
I don't even-
like-
how would they do that with the gym battles though?
I mean,
They could either do team battle
Oh,
gyms,
yeah,
so like two versus two kind of
Yeah,
thing.
you could
Yeah.
make it a threesome.
or
Yeah.
that part of the story isn't like co-op.
Yeah, like you can still do the battles like maybe individually. You just go in each like one.
I
at
gotta do a
time or something.
seance every time his degeneracy starts leaking out, real quickly. Clean this motherfucker, please.
I personally,
my filth.
I actually liked the grass type for once, and
Oh, okay.
Quaxley. This is the first time I did not like a fire type offer it.
I just felt like the designs all look just a little too basic.
Lechonk.
I'm
Yeah,
gonna
they're
look
all
it up real quick because I
they
can't
all look
remember
like
what
little.
they look like.
Yeah, I don't know. And so my biggest problem, especially with now that Pokemon's moved into the 3D space.
So wait, which ones
Um,
did you say you liked? I'm sorry.
The grass type that looks like a cat / fox.
That's yours. And what about you, Chris?
And
I think all
Quaxley
three
was
of
a
them
duck.
suck.
Oh, you hate all three of them.
Yeah, he has
Yeah,
all three.
yeah.
So
I just
you're
like
a
the-
Pokemon hater. You despise it. You've never liked Pokemon a day in your life, huh?
I'm
Okay.
like
You went
I'm
from 0
definitely
to 100.
OG. The 151 are my Pokemon. Everything else after that is just a like.
No,
oh,
Rob is on
kind-
point. The grass one is the best one, but it just looks like a regular cat with like some green on it. Just
Mm.
being honest. The fire one, what the fuck is that? A hippo?
It's
A baby
it's a
hippo?
pig.
A pig?
It might be,
See?
or it's a hippo. The name
But
is
that's what I'm
Lechonk.
saying, right?
His
Like,
name is
they actually-
Lechonk.
But see, that's what I'm saying. They don't really look that good. It's like I don't know.
Joke.
Would you think of the legendaries this time around? I
So
thought
the
they were pretty
legendaries
sick.
actually, yeah. Okay, to be fair, at first I was like, "What the hell are they doing?" Because it literally looked like a car, like a motorcycle kind of thing, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" But once you got to see the whole image, because they kind of just showed that close up,
Right.
which it looked like a tire at first. That was my impression. Once
on
they
his
zoomed
chest,
out.
right?
Yeah, exactly. So I was like, "What are they doing?" And then yeah, because it's not the first time. Like I feel like
What are you doing?
they're almost at 1,000 Pokemon now, so they're like
What are you
running out of
doing?
ideas. Just like, what the hell do we make Pokemon out of now? It's like we got Pokemon made out of lamps. We got Pokemon made out of like
Actual garbage.
literal garbage. It's just like they're running out of ideas.
They got
um,
Pseudo Wudo.
Lick a tongue.
Sudowoodo, who's actually not a grass type. It is
That to
actually
this day
a
still
rock
pisses me
type.
off. That
Yo.
still pisses me off.
Being a rock type, but looking like a tree with actual leaves on you is. But maybe I guess that's where the pseudo comes from, right?
No,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yo,
Pseudo
nobody's
Pseudo
ever
Wudo.
tried to like do a little fan animation or something of like smoking a pseudo wudo, see what the fuck happens. Yo, rolling up a pseudo
Just, like-
wudo, dog.
But it's a
Smoke
rock
up
type,
some
so
rock.
wouldn't it technically be in your pipe?
Oh, oh, God, no, yo,
Yeah.
cut
you
that
can
out because
actually-
it sounds like I'm saying, yo, smoke some crack. No,
Yeah,
no.
smoke some pseudo
No,
wudo.
leave that
Dude.
shit in. Leave that shit in.
Smoke some
No.
pseudo wudo.
It sounds like the hell no. Fuck that shit. No.
I don't think we got too much information out of this new trailer aside from the reveal of the legendaries, some of the mechanics, and a little closer look at the starters. I'll tell you what trailer that did come out that I was pretty excited about: Final Fantasy 16.
Yes. Yes.
Man,
fucking hype.
listen, like the down to like the music and the
My man soaking.
like the combat reveal. Oh my god,
Chef's
that was
kiss.
crazy combat. It really looked like they made a Devil May Cry game.
This looks like Devil May Cry 6, honestly.
Yes, Final Fantasy May Cry.
What's going on with Devil May Cry? Just quickly,
I don't
out of
fucking
curiosity.
care. Final Fantasy 16 is coming.
No. But like, is Devil May Cry done?
I don't
Like,
know.
I don't think
mean,
so.
the-
I didn't.
the
I didn't play
fifth-
5.
Likewise,
I
but I'm
loved
just
5.
curious. I love the story of Devil May Cry.
5 was great. 5 was phenomenal.
Was the ending of the story of 5 definitive to the series, or do you think like they left room for some new shit?
No, they definitely left, like, it was a satisfying conclusion, but they still definitely left it open enough to, like, yeah, we can make another one.
Do they
There's-
reference DMC at all, or no? With 5?
What, you mean Run DMC?
No, the piece of shit that Ninja.
prequel.
Oh, no, they don't mention the reboot
They didn't
at
poke
all.
a joke at it or nothing, like how they
No,
poked the
that-
joke at the
nothing.
original Dante.
They,
'Cause
they
that
pretend
was
it
a-
doesn't. They pretend
Ah.
it doesn't exist.
Okay, it was
Like,
like they
not
tried to
even-
reboot it and they said fuck it and kept going. Got you.
Yeah, they don't. It's not acknowledged at all, which is fine. They don't need to. But yeah,
Fair,
5
man.
was sick. 5 was really good. I beat 5 like 4 times in a row. Like, it was fucking great. Final Fantasy 16 looks fucking amazing.
Oh great, another Final Fantasy game to destroy another generation.
But this one's not turn-based.
Oh, okay. I'm on board then.
Well, we don't know that yet.
I mean, it's pretty obvious. Like, Final Fantasy 15 was an action game as well. Final Fantasy 7 Remake is an action RPG.
So are they done with turn-based games in Final Fantasy?
It looks that way. It looks like they're making like their side.
So they
stuff
made the
turn-based.
pussies and left, huh?
I guess so.
Okay, let me stop because I don't want nobody to think I'm strictly running with the joke. It's not that I'm serious about that. I don't feel that way. That would be a fucking stupid thing for me to say. Just want to.
But it's not like the company has given up on turn-based completely. Like, they have a bunch of other games like Bravely Default, Octopath Traveler, Triangle Strategy. They have all these other turn-based games that they're still making. But it looks like Final Fantasy, because Final Fantasy's always been like their main shit, you know? Like they so like.
And
I
even
think
with
they just-
7R, right? Like they had the hack and slash aspect, but you
Yes.
could also switch back to turn based.
Sort of.
I mean, enough
Not
that
really.
it still felt like there was still a turn based element in there.
Mm.
The way the combat system was set up is like it was a combination of turn based with the active time bar, where you kind of had to like wait for the bar to build up. So like the only difference is you just had the free roam to dodge and attack.
No. The way that the ATB bar worked in FF7 Remake was that it allowed you to use special moves. That was it.
Regular attacks weren't doing shit.
What do you mean regular attacks aren't doing shit? That's not true. And you could also dodge. So like, and you could
Well,
also
that's what I
block
said.
and parry.
Yeah, like you had the free roam to be able to dodge and attack was like the main difference, but they still like kept a semblance of a turn base, like when you could just switch the style of how you played the game. Like it was like a whole feature in the game. They were like, okay, well,
I think
this
that
is
was 15, not I think
15 didn't have turn based.
Yeah, it did. It had like a weird, like it had like a different whole other system to it where it turned the game turn based. It was weird. I never messed with it though. But like, yeah, it had some weird shit in it.
I may have to go back and look on that, and we're not a on the fly fact checking podcast, so
Nah.
what the fuck ever.
Point is, whatever. Point is, 16 looks fucking fire. 16 looks fucking amazing. 16 looks like it's going to cradle your balls. It's make you feel good at night.
Did you notice that the music that they chose was very similar to the music that they used in Keeper of the Lake from 14?
I'm gonna have to listen to that track again. Jesus.
Yeah, like not like the actual dungeon run, but when you get to the end of the boss, like the end for the boss.
Okay,
Go back
when they start doing like the Latin chanting.
That too, but like even like the.
Yo, Chris, how many bitches you fuck lately?
Shit, I just fucked one last weekend. What you trying to say?
Oh, I swear to God, that's not what I meant. Honestly, no. Oh yeah, wow, no, no. Honest to God, that's not what I meant. I just was literally just trying to throw a joke in there. That's not.
No, I know you're fucking around.
Yo, you called me by surprise. We said, wait a minute. Oh no.
Now the thing is, though, I think what they're doing with 16, they're making it more action because they think that's more what most mainstream think is fun. But should video games be more than just fun?
How so?
To quote Yamazaki from Welcome to the NHK, video games are meant to be made, not played.
What the fuck? He said that?
He did.
Well, he's full of shit.
I remember it like it was yesterday because I thought to myself, what?
You need to play your own game when you make it. That doesn't even make any sense.
It was not meant to be played.
That's why the game flopped when they dropped it.
That's true. It did.
Because they didn't play the shit.
Right. So what I mean is, so I think a lot of people when they first think about video games, the thing is like you play a video game to have fun, to blow off steam. You play a fighting game to beat your friend up or whatever. You play an action game because you want to go in there, you want to beat the shit out of something, or you play a puzzle game because you just find puzzle games fun or whatever.
Or you play a hentai game to get aroused.
A shintai game.
That's
a shintai game.
That's its own kind of fun. But what I'm saying is, I think video games are more than that. They provide an experience. An experience is not necessarily fun. I'm sure you guys can think of movies, music, anime that you've seen that you wouldn't necessarily classify as a fun experience, but it's something that's deep and meaningful and it moves you in a way that, is not just straightforward entertainment. And I think video games also can and have provided that.
You don't think that the concept of fun isn't like can't be synonymous with like an experience though? Like just because a game like sent you through like a roller coaster of emotions, like let's take Last of Us for instance, right? Where you have to like watch somebody like die, or like the Walking Dead series where like it's putting you through this emotional ringer, and the experience itself of like going through the emotions isn't fun.
Yo, Chris, why you look
but
sad
the overall
for?
ride is still fun, right?
I just looked over at Chris like, yo, he looks sad. Like, this is making
Apparently
him
he's
sad.
not having fun.
I swear to
Yo,
God.
Chris,
I looked, I
don't
was like,
be sad,
oh,
bro.
you alright, bro? What's going on?
Yo, The Last of Us was not fun for Chris, apparently.
No,
Oh, was that
traumatic
the game?
experience.
Was that the game that had that big controversy? Remember
spoilers.
Shintai? We talked about it like
Yes.
100 years ago? Okay.
Yeah, that's the game with the controversy. Yeah. Fun can be an experience as well. I wasn't trying to say otherwise. All I was trying to say was I was trying to use certain verbiage to get across the idea that you can have.
So the three-eyed guy.
The three-eyed guy is an experience.
Yeah, he is.
Yo, this nasty motherfucker want to fuck someone with 3 eyes. You sick bastard.
I get what you're getting at. To me, it seems like with all of that considered, you're still playing the game for the fun of having the experience.
But also we gotta pinpoint that fun doesn't really, it's so broad.
Yeah.
Like, one person could find fucking stepping on thumbtacks as fun and another person thinks that's fucking hell.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. Like, it's like whatever reason that you play a game, like you're going to play it because you have fun playing it. Like, you're not gonna play a game that you don't feel like you don't enjoy playing.
Well,
I know,
Shintai,
I guess-
have you played a game that you did not like but you kept on going?
You finished it?
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah.
You
Well,
might be
Shintai is a
psychotic.
hardcore game. No, he's a hardcore gamer though. He's a completionist. Shintai likes to finish the game because it's part of the journey for him. So even if it's I respect that. Like, okay, I'll give an example. Like, let's just say I'm watching an anime. And at first, it like got me a little bit, and then after a while, I was like, "Yo, this shit sucks." But I've already dedicated myself. I got like 20 more episodes, 10 more episodes, whatever. Let me just finish this through. The same concept could be applied to video games. Like maybe he initially was having fun or initially got it for the purpose of having fun. Along the way, it provided a different type of experience that, I guess it's semantics on whether or not fun, was a part of what he was doing. Maybe one might look at it as Shintai indulging in the knowledge that video game gave to him. They would say he's having fun, while Shintai's like, no, this is not fun. This is like I'm admiring art, but I'm not having fun necessarily. So I guess it's a semantics thing. And I know I just went nerdy as fuck with it, but
So like,
I think so.
fun is like a very subjective kind of broad thing. So when it comes
subjective.
to
That's the word. Yeah.
when it comes to video games specifically, I want to define it how I do it. When it comes to video games, when I think of a fun video game, I think of something that I enjoy specifically because of its mechanics. So like, something like an action game or a puzzle game, I think that's fun because specifically the mechanics, like the way that the game works, is engineered in a way that I think is enjoyable.
Yo, Fornev, where is your shirt?
He's wearing his shirt.
I'm wearing my
Is he?
shirt. Yes,
Yeah,
sir.
it's just
The same color as the skin?
I can't believe he just said this to me. I'm fucking offended, motherfucker! God damn you!
No, but really, like, it did look like you didn't have a shirt on for a second. I was like, what the fuck is he doing?
There we go, though. Yo, I'm rocking out the rest like this, bro. Like if I'm back in Brooklyn on a milk crate, get at me.
I don't even know what that means. On a milk crate?
Oh yeah, well, that Shintai finishes and then I'll explain a milk crate.
I just want to say, I want y'all to try out a game called What Remains of Edith Finch, right? This is not a game where you beat someone up. It's not a game. It's not a puzzle game or whatever.
It's not a game where you have fun.
It's not a game where you have fun.
Oh, I'm not playing that shit.
What the fuck am I gonna want to play? Why?
Listen, it's a game where you walk around this weird fucking house and you read the diaries of these people that died, and then you experience the last moments before they passed away.
My God, that sounds like going to my Uncle Papi Tony's house.
This game
God.
is an experience.
Papi Tony, what's good? I know. Don't worry. It's not your government. Relax.
This game is an experience, and I guarantee you it's going to make you feel something if you play it. But
what type of feel? Because with you, we don't know. Next thing you know, it's poking through our pants like, Shintai did this.
No, none of that. I promise you, none of that. It's a genuine fucking experience, and not one that's meant to get your dick hard, I promise.
What if it does, though?
Yeah, I was kind of hoping, like, man, you failed me. I was hoping for the king of degeneracy to really, drive it home.
Hey, man,
Come on, take this pod to the next level. God damn it.
I can't be degenerate, 100% of the time. I'd just be fucking filthy. I wouldn't even be able to get out of the house.
Okay.
People would need to hose me down.
And you don't like hentai with an S?
No, I don't.
We need a spray bottle for Shintai. Say,
Spray tie. That's a nice shirt you got there. I almost called you hentai.
At least someone's wearing a shirt. Apparently, I'm not.
some got no shirts, some got no pants on. It's just total shit show now.
I told
What
you not
is
to
that
say
from the Black
anything
Parade?
while we were live,
That's
Chris.
right. That's right. Black Parade.
What is that? Is that an album or a song or what is that?
That is the third album by My Chemical Romance.
Ah, so desu ne, darigato.
Didn't they just put some music out? I think you linked it, right?
Chin
That's
chin
right.
sugoi desu ka?
Yeah.
Is that the name of it?
Foundations of Decay.
Which was an awesome song, by the way. Thanks for linking that.
Yes.
Oh,
You're
yes.
welcome.
Like, see, yo, we're going to keep on pushing this because it's not only a narrative, it's the truth that Shintai's musical recommendations are fucking amazing. I've been following his recommendations for how many years it's been now? At least four, maybe 5 of him just like, hey, yo, check this song out. Next thing you know, it's in my Spotify, and my niece is singing this abstract music with me. Like, some of this should be like, let me take me to the distant past. fast. I want it so bad. Like, me and my niece will be fucking rocking the fuck out.
Yeah. I remember I gave you like a Mars Volta song, and your niece was into that one too.
Yeah, Shintai, he knows what's up. So any artists or whatever, you know what I'm saying? Shintai might be able to, funnel you through into the pod. I'm just saying, break something off, you know what I'm saying? Break me off, show me what you got, okay, wait, relax.
Were you just offering payola?
It's not payola if it's through podcast. That's radio. We're not radio.
Oh,
We're not.
podola?
Podola, there we go, baby. That's the name of the episode, Podola. Oh, snap.
Shintai, I guess you would say you're a pretty big My Chemical Romance fan then, huh?
I would say so. I mean, I normally don't buy merchandise for something unless I'm like I'm in it deep.
Shintai, we're trying to intro you to go fanboy over My Chemical Romance. That's what Rob is trying to do. He's like, Shintai, please just dive into it. Please, the water's fine.
All right. So this is Black Parade.
Hey, so what do you think of My Chemical Romance? Oh, it's good. Yeah.
It's good.
Like, tell us, please, dive. The water's okay.
Trying to get my guy to pod, and he's just giving me.
Yes.
He's giving me Rotten Tomatoes reviews.
Oh, okay, I can't do this no more. I'm fucking sweating.
So recently, the Black Parade started charting once again, and this was something because I remember Rob. I think you mentioned it. You were saying like, oh, that wouldn't happen for a hip hop album. I wanted to ask, why is that?
It can, but
it can, but for some reason, you're not allowed to be old in hip hop unless they still like you.
I'm glad you brought that up. I'm glad I wasn't the only one that was thinking that, because I was thinking the same fucking shit. Because because when it comes to rock, legacy is so fucking important.
Very important.
And yet I don't see that with hip hop. And I want to ask you, what is up with that?
It's really the way that
it's the world. If we're just being very honest, it's the world and it's the setup. Because at the end of the day, hip hop is predominantly black music, and we could go down that rabbit hole, but it is what it is. They've already it's a trap from the jump, right? It's hip hop. So once you're not hip anymore, you can't hop.
So if you're not new hotness, you're old and busted.
And that's been the trap from the very jump.
Pretty much.
Like, if it had a different name, might have given it a better start to begin with of, hey, you don't need to be hip, because even somebody like, for example, you never thought in a million years back in the day that Eminem would be what people are calling him, like, and I don't call him because I love his music and shit. We had a little back and forth about how I felt about Revival and shit like that. But, people say he's already out the game, washed up and shit like that. And it's like, if Eminem, it feels like it's not that long ago, but it was like the Revival album, he had some of the biggest hits of his fucking career, and if even he can get washed out already, it's over for him. There's just so many artists that they're fucking amazing, but once you hit a certain point, it doesn't matter. It's like, no, you cannot. They won't allow you to.
And I feel like that's like
great.
A stigma that was intentionally set up by the record labels, where they just want to be able to milk you for like whatever they think you're worth while you're young and like relatable, but they don't build the value of becoming a legacy act. They just,
especially nowadays,
because they don't even really have A&Rs anymore, like A&Rs that function as an A&R. You know what I mean?
Yo, one day we gotta have like a hip hop pod where I could say some of these takes that I have, because I have a take right now that I will not let fly right now, but at the right moment in the right time, and it's about Murder Inc., I will definitely let that one rock, but not here.
I don't know if I want those problems.
No, it's kind of bigging up Murder Inc. and my personal feelings on the fall of Murder Inc. and what the public sees and what the reality of what happened to Murder Inc. really is. And it's a little deeper than what the common knowledge is, but again, maybe someday, not now.
It's murder.
I do love that drama though with Murder Inc. It's good drama. Ja Rule and shit.
Yo, John 50. Is that outside of course Pac and Biggie and Jay-Z and Nas, is John 50 like one of the biggest beefs of hip hop history? And that's sad that we got it. Like, there's so many other great things, and and let's just quickly get it, because I don't like to put that like beef is the only thing hip hop is about, but that probably is the third biggest beef in hip hop, I would argue.
Yeah, it's the biggest one that I know of.
I mean, there's like a whole series, right, about rap beef.
I
with
mean,
all the
outside of
biggest
that, we had
beefs.
like Flip and T.I., but that wasn't as big.
Nelly, KRS-One.
Whenever I hear that, I'm like, what?
He went diamond.
But it's KRS-One, dog. You don't say nothing. I'm sorry. Like, and shout outs to
don't
them. Because it's KRS-One. He loves hip hop.
So?
He loves hip hop. That's
So?
it. He's right.
So
He loves hip hop. He's right.
the essence of hip hop is competition, ain't it?
But KRS-One breathes hip hop. He is hip hop. You cannot go against. I'm sorry. Like, yeah, at the end of the day, maybe because I don't know exactly where the beef stems from. But like, for example, Soulja Boy, when he was coming in, he was crucified. The fuck. I mean, from Snoop making fun of him, it was fucking bad. And I just lost my point where I was going with this. Of shit. What was we saying? Fuck.
You know what's interesting about like the way Soulja Boy was treated, because he didn't make the kind of music that his predecessors wanted rappers to make, is that they were looked at the same exact fucking way by the people that came before them.
And it'll continue on and on. But
Yeah.
I would argue that the older generation, they're right at the time, but there's just mad money and machines to push these things.
Are they?
They are. And I'll tell you why. Because just because the culture evolved into a certain thing doesn't mean that it went for the better. Like, why would that be for the better when music is dumbing down kids legitimately, IQs is dropping, all sorts of stuff? Because
It's
you
not,
can't tell me
though.
otherwise. Music has a very strong impact on children. When I was younger, I wanted to roll with 50 Cent so motherfucking bad. I thought he was the super gangster from the world. Ain't nobody fucking with 50. They do have influence. We could say night and day, music
You
has...
don't think this takes us back to the Five Nights at Freddy's conversation though, where it's like you're blaming the artist's music for dumbing down somebody who
But it's not just
chooses-
kids. It's not just kids though with this one.
Who chooses to ingest that content.
Well, first of all, Five Nights at Freddy, they're children at the end of the day. I'm speaking to all the way. There are grown ass fucking men that are idolizing. For example, give me an artist, I don't know, that be on some ignorant shit. You don't even name them.
That's
Just,
not the artist's fault though. That's the community's fault.
Is it the community's fault, or is it the
Yes.
people behind with the millions of dollars that are pushing these records that 100%, like we can go down to how a lot of these artists are literally financial experiments, and why they blow the fuck up is like, yeah, partially people get forced into the music. Like, you already know, for example, if you're listening to the radio and you hate a fucking song, you know you're gonna hear that song the next day and next day, and that's how you start liking some of this bullshit music, because they are pushed millions of dollars to make motherfuckers like that garbage ass shit. Now, shout outs to Soulja Boy. You're like, if you go to my channel, your first dude I ever made a fucking video about, first video I got on my channel. I'm not saying this to say that. I'm saying that at the time when the OGs are saying something is because, yo, if we just pushed hip hop to this point of consciousness, right, and they got motherfuckers that are actually trying to live life right, eat right, just live a positive life, and here comes the $1 million record label saying, nah, that's all cool and all that, we want you to talk about killing more black people, like that's what's gonna make us money. At that point, no, KRS-One is right. Now, that wasn't the same scenario, because he was just, I'm more so imagining like,
He's not right though, because we talked about this with Kendrick. Like, you come out, you show up, and you bring this positive message with your music, right? And then, but the people say, no, we don't want to hear that shit. So
What people?
So then,
Are
the
these
community.
people real though? How many of these people are actually even real on Twitter? How many of it is bots?
You
How
know
much of
many-
this is?
Do you know how many people I've had conversations about Kendrick and his discography, and they all have like "To Pimp a Butterfly" at the bottom of the list of his albums
I do
Why?
have a way to tie this all
because
together.
it's too fucking positive.
Why does that bother somebody? Why do people not like me, for example, for being positive? I get that so much throughout my life. Whenever I'm on a positive wave, there are people that legitimately will dislike me simply because I'm positive and trying to better people's lives. Why?
Because it's more interesting to give energy into shit that's not good for you.
Why?
It's human nature.
Chris,
People
No,
who don't want
no,
to focus on
no,
their own problems.
It's
no.
not human nature.
That's not
I want-
human
it's
nature. Absolutely not.
Why do we eat meat
When
why do we
motherfuckers-
eat
when-
meat even though it's not good for our digestive systems?
I'd imagine
I
we
want-
didn't. At some point we didn't, and then at some point we did.
Hold on, I want to hear what Chris says.
Because we like to put our energy into bad shit.
Why? Where did that come from? Who told us to do that?
Humans.
What humans?
The
Well,
ones
to
that
go off what
the
you're
ones
saying,
that are
Let's
doing
move
it.
on. Let's move on.
Hold on. 2 points.
No. We out of here. I'm not doing it. I'm sorry. It gets too deep, and then people start in the comments saying wild shit. It's a fun discussion nonetheless.
The whole original of this point of this conversation was how rock music tends to have a legacy over like hip hop. So what I was gonna add to that brings it all the way back to Shintai, is simply that I think a lot of the reasons why rock can have that legacy and people will look back on old music and look fondly on it is because hip hop tends to go with what's mainstream at the moment, right? And it evolves and changes a lot, the style of the music. As soon as somebody gets it big with the...
I disagree there too.
Well, mind you,
think
he's
so?
saying from the perspective of the mainstream consciousness. You got to remember that.
Yeah. It's
You
like as
might
soon as-
be more detached from the mainstream where you will listen to some underground motherfucker. He's
No.
talking from the perspective of the mainstream consciousness.
I'm talking from the perspective of the mainstream takes from hip hop, and that's what makes it mainstream, not the other way around.
I don't know what the difference in our...
So
what
the
we're
difference,
discussing now.
the difference is like if you're saying that hip hop goes with what's current.
Like, let's
and
put it this way.
mainstream.
Some dude comes out with a auto-tune track, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the next 10 rappers come out with an auto-tune track, right?
And that's been since
then-
like '08, pretty much, yeah.
Yeah. And then, you know what I'm saying? But then after that, it's like, so now
then-
let's
and then-
fast forward
and then
10
the-
years. Do you
And then
remember
the
those 10
mainstream-
songs?
And then the mainstream
remember
starts
those
making
music?
songs like those rap songs.
I'll
Yeah.
be honest, I think Chris got it with this one simply because it's pretty much like, and shout outs to him. I gotta always say this because I'm not trying to disrespect no artist or nothing. If you take it away, my fault. That's not my intention. But Future, for example, a lot of that music of that era, maybe not Future himself because Future survived and became an icon from that era, but the 50 other Future clones, I'm not gonna name the artists. Pretty much, where are they? Do anyone even remember them? If I wasn't bringing, or if we didn't arrive to this conversation right now, would you even think of any of those 50 Future clones that were out there?
Yeah.
Absolutely not. You're
I
not
talk-
thinking
I
of.
t-
I
I
don't
talk
want to
about-
bring up dudes' names, but you're
talk-
not thinking of them.
I think about Designer quite often, and I think it's kind of fucked up what they did to him.
Whoa, who was talking about design? I don't know what you talking about, bro.
You said,
Who's
future,
talking
you
about?
said Future clones. Designer, Designer specifically got
I-
famous because people
I
thought
don't
he
even
was
know who that
Future.
is.
You
I
said
got-
it. I
Panda,
didn't say nothing.
Panda,
I don't know.
Panda,
Shout outs
Panda.
to Designer Dog. I want to see you win.
All I'm saying is, yes, somebody came out with autotune, and rappers after that said, hey, let me try to use autotune. That's pretty much anything in music where somebody hears something and they say, oh, this is a new sound. Let me incorporate it in my sound.
It's not just in music. That's like in everything, pretty
Yeah,
much.
that's
so.
everything. So I can't pin that on hip hop.
But
think
the
about
music
hip-hop.
and the music in hip hop went from at a certain point being able to be timeless. That like right now, for example, if you put on, let's just say, or you go to certain stores or whatever that will play hip hop, they're still gonna play Juicy. They're still gonna
Bro.
play that. They're skipping
and they're still gonna
over
and they're still
15
gonna play
years.
They're still gonna play Nuck If You Buck. Don't even.
Nucky, I don't even put Nuck If You Buck in the category of what music. There was a certain point for me, and maybe
Nobody
I'm
was
now-
trying to hear crunk music outside of the South when it first came out.
It went super mainstream very quick in my
It-
opinion.
it-
Lil
yeah.
Jon blew that shit to the wazoo.
And then guess who started getting Lil Jon on their music? Rock people.
But yeah, I mean he did
EDM.
other shit. I don't know. I just feel
There's
like
a reason why
there's been a
hip-hop is-
conscious choice of making microwave, like what they call microwavable music within hip hop, and that's where we're at with it. Where there's a lot of microwavable bullshit that you're not gonna. I'm not gonna remember a lot of these dudes if we're not talking about it. Now, I wouldn't.
I feel like that kind of undermines like the microwavable fucking rock music that comes out on the radio. That people say, "Oh, this is bubblegum pop. This is."
Well, I'm sure it'd be there as well, but there's a little bit of a difference when you can clearly see that there was a
But it's-
magical shift where
But
now,
hip hop is harder criticized for that. Why?
well, it's the
I
number one
think that's
genre
why,
in the
like,
world.
literally what
It's-
we just talked
especially the fact that every other genre steals from hip hop.
Pop, yeah, absolutely.
But
But
hip hop steals from everything else too.
It doesn't.
It literally does.
It
That's
doesn't.
like,
what, the sampling?
yeah. How often does hip hop take like beats from other songs and then like literally uses it
That's
in their own
sampling,
stuff?
though.
The
That's
sampling-
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's not stealing.
every
'cause
genre
you literally-
sa-
No,
samples.
okay, sorry, I don't mean stealing. Like I just, you know what I mean. But of course, you're getting influenced off of other things.
There's
Yeah, sorry, stealing is not the right word, but yeah.
So the thing about sampling is you have to credit the source.
Okay,
There's
I'm gonna give you a perfect
there's-
example right
there's
now.
no
Right,
way
right, right,
around
right.
it.
Real
but
quick.
like for K-pop being an example where like they will literally take a song,
Oh, don't
make
get
the
started with
same
it.
exact song,
Vanilla
an
Ice
Asian face
sampled
on
Queen,
it and say,
and
"Yo,
he
this is
didn't
new and
credit
fresh."
the source, and he got sued.
We've talked about this with what's the song? Bitch, you guessed it. What's his name? OG Mako, right? Bitch, you guessed it. And then you get not even a year later, you get these Japanese group, Itjima. Shit goes insane, viral all over the internet,
Well,
Okay.
there's
and it
more
completely erases.
you're-
Bitch, you guessed it.
but
We're jumping total cultural
talk-
differences.
Yeah.
And,
Because not only that,
yeah.
there's a political aspect to the whole, and I don't want to dive into that either. But the whole BTS, K-pop movement and shit like that. There's politics attached to that. There's politics attached to the hip hop aspect
I don't
too,
care
but-
about the politics. The fact of the
But
matter
you
is,
drove into it when you brought up because that's the difference.
I don't care about the politics. I'm telling you what it is.
right, but you're like,
And
the
I'm
difference
telling
of
you what it is,
like,
that the politics is an important thing. You cannot deny that that's
The politics is a whole different conversation. I'm talking about the fact that hip hop does not take from mainstream. Mainstream takes from hip hop. And K-pop is a prime example.
BTS.
Without even crediting it, they'll say that the black artists that are doing it is making nonsense. They're not making timeless music, right?
Chris,
But then
I gotta get this off. Chris, you make a whole bunch of videos, right? I'm gonna give you a prime example, right? Let's just say you got 7 videos straight. Your first video, you start putting your face in the thumbnail. Your second video, you outside in the grass and the trees. Your third video, everything that you're doing is putting your most creative passion behind it, right? Now, what would you do if my next video, I'm outside by the trees for my video after that, I'm putting myself in the thumbnail. My video after that, and as you're moving, I keep on right behind you doing that shit.
That's copying though. There's copying, and then there's variation.
That's stealing.
Just because song
if every move Chris is making, somebody is right. Oh, he went outside to the trees and shit like that.
You're
Boom, I'm
absolutely
doing
right.
that.
That's not hip hop though.
Yeah,
Just because you have
I'm-
2 songs and you have song A that has all
Dude, I'm saying I'm agreeing with you on that. That's not what hip hop. I'm agreeing that they do that to hip hop, but hip hop will say, "Hey, there's an old sample. Let me turn it into a nowadays thing." While the vice versa will be, and they'll credit because they'll be forced to credit or catch a lawsuit. So they
Yeah.
immediately got to say, "Hey, this is blah 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 blah." But mainstream they'll ridicule hip hop for it. First of all, they got to do that. They got to add the ridicule, say how it's fucking up the world, yada yada. Then slowly take it and maneuver and what?
To take it further, the whole concept with sampling is that you're taking an existing sound and creating something entirely new out of it.
Almost fair use, basically.
You're not taking a new sound and then just using the same exact shit.
Dog, John Cena fucking robbed Tony Yayo. Okay? And John Cena's a rapper and Tony Yayo's a rapper. You can't see me. His biggest thing, he admitted he took that from Tony Yayo.
And guess what? The white face is the one that popularized it, right?
That's it. And nobody talks about Tony Yayo, despite Tony Yayo being the most definition of loyal you will ever fucking find in your life. That is the most loyal man, loyal friend you will ever see in existence. And nobody knows his face.
I think Tony Yayo's problem, and I like Tony Yayo, but his problem was that he doesn't exactly have a shit ton of just like mainstream tracks that have taken off.
So Seductive was fire though. Shorty so seductive dancing on
What
me.
do you consider mainstream?
Shout out Buffy the
Like,
Body.
Is it mainstream because it's mainstream, or does it
I gotta throw my
exist?
degeneracy real quick. Buffy the Body, if you've seen this, oh my god, I had the biggest crush on you. Please. Oh, I just had to throw that. I'm sorry. I just thought about Buffy the Body in that So Seductive video and that ass. Oh my god, she's. Oh. Anyway, go ahead. My fault.
I was my train of thought.
Like, what do you consider? mainstream?
Buffy the Body
so-
penetrating the brain.
So as far as mainstream goes, because this has always bothered me, like when people say like, "Oh, this is mainstream music," like, is it mainstream music or is it just music that got so popular it's considered mainstream?
Well, I think that's one of the same. It's just
I don't
referencing
think
it in
so.
a different way.
I'd say it's the latter.
I don't think so, because
I
you
don't,
could say
that's pop music at that point. You would use the term pop music if it's intended to be mainstream.
Because
Right.
yeah, exactly. Yeah,
right, but that's like, so Drake would probably be a good example, right? Drake makes music that's considered mainstream.
Yeah.
But Drake can make a song that's not intended to be mainstream, but because Drake made it, it's called mainstream.
Yeah, well, Drake crossed over to become a pop act, and that was also an intentional thing. He didn't start off he started off with, well, no, I'm lying.
But
I'm lying. No, he started off with Best
I mean,
Ever Had, and that's a pop
Does
record.
intent really matter? If something becomes mainstream, irregardless of intent,
Right.
it becomes mainstream.
right, but is it like that's why I said, is it mainstream because it's mainstream? Like, is the song mainstream, or is it mainstream because it became mainstream?
It starts getting into semantics at that point. I think the easiest thing is, hey, it's pop music if it's intended to be mainstream. If not, then hey, it just made it to the mainstream and crossed over.
Yeah,
I think
like when
that's
I
the
think of
easiest way to put
pop, kind of like what you're saying, Fornev. When I think of pop, I think of like exactly like
Bieber.
people put the song all together with a team of people trying to make it as catchy as possible, so that way all the teeny boppers are going to listen to it, and then it's going to take off, right, and be the hit of the week. But yeah, then you think of somebody like Drake or sorry,
Drill music.
Would you call drill music mainstream?
I don't know.
It's
who
made
that
it to
is.
the mainstream as a genre. Occasionally can anyway. Like Pop Smoke really opened the door, but it's talking about, you know what I'm saying, is things that aren't appealing or aren't intended for the mainstream. Yet the whole idea behind it, because of millions of dollars and a whole other thing, but has penetrated
you know
the
what?
mainstream.
No, I'm actually going to argue that, because I think anyone who's making a song has the intention of wanting as many ears to listen to it as possible. So therefore,
I
even
can't
if you're
say
not
that.
intentionally trying to make a song that's going to be, no, but I think you are, because if I'm making something, I'm making it so I want people to see it. So if I'm making something that people want to see, then you're already, no matter what you're doing, the larger the audience you're getting, the happier you are, aren't you?
But what about people that are just making music and then they have somebody around them that says, "Yo, you should share this"?
Prime example, like
Yeah.
I'm not even
And then
like
does it start taking off?
Yeah.
I'm not even like, okay, I'm just been for the fuck of it, really, putting out some music on Twitter in a thread. Not even putting it like, I'm putting it on SoundCloud in a fucking thread, because it's like, hey, if anybody rocks with it, cool. If not, whatever. Like there's a difference between that and me putting out Ultra Instinct 4 years ago and putting a budget behind it and, consciously trying to make this shit go.
I would personally kind of consider that more. It's like one's practice. It doesn't mean it can't be good, but it's just like once you like practicing and like honing your skill, right? Because not every track you make is you're gonna like send it off to want to be okay. I guess I look at it from two different perspectives in that sense. Where on the one perspective, you're working as an artist, you're working and trying to make something, right? But you have to make a bunch of, let's just say, bad stuff to get to the good stuff, right? And that only comes with practice and learning, right? So you have to make a bunch of stuff before good stuff comes out of it. But you might share some of that stuff because some good things came out of that. Doesn't mean it's all bad, right? Some of it can actually be great, but it's like, it's just, that's your learning. So yes, in that moment, you weren't intending to make something for the masses. You're making something for you, but you might share that around with a couple friends or whatever because you want their take. But I don't consider that the same thing. Like if I'm sitting down working on something, whether I'm
And
making
the worst
a movie,
one out the batch is the one that goes viral, and now you're famous.
that's probably how it typically happens. Yeah,
Always.
you're like, how in the fuck is this the one that made it? Is that how mumble rap became a thing?
Probably.
Did somebody literally just like forgot how to speak words, and then they're just like, oh my god, people
I
like
wouldn't,
this?
I wouldn't say they forgot how to speak words so much as they were too high to form
The words.
That makes more
cohesive
sense.
words
And accents as well.
and
Where like
accents.
they're high, they're slurring on the words, and they got a strong accent, so it's like mumbling, but they're actually speaking. It's just
Because people that are not from the South would probably hear it as mumble rap, but people from the South can
South. They're like, what do you mean?
perfectly
I understand everything.
exactly
Like Kodak
what
Black.
they're saying. Yeah.
Kodak Black, people that like, if you don't know about Kodak Black or whatever, especially if you're not really into his music or you're from where he's from, you'll be like, I can't fucking understand shit. But like anybody in Broward County that where he's from, they always say, yo, I understand him clearly.
So here's my question. Not to, steer the conversation elsewhere, but
We have been on this music for a little bit.
why does hip hop get so much flack for mumble rap, right? But then the entire concept of scatting.
The entire
I'm
what?
Scat man.
Scatting.
What's scatting?
I'm kind of confused.
That right
yeah.
there, what he was just
That
doing.
what I just did. That's scat.
Oh, well, like,
Scat
I'm the
porn?
scat man. Give it a
All I
what
know is
about that? I've never
Yeah.
like.
You've never heard of, like, scatting in jazz?
You never heard
I've
of
heard
scat
of
man?
I've heard of
yeah.
scat porn, and that's it. I don't know what the
No.
hell
Okay,
that
but
is.
like
We're
I'm
not
familiar with
talking about
jazz, and
scatological.
lots of people like jazz. I wouldn't consider it like super mainstream or anything, but it has its audience and people like it.
I'm kind of lost on what the conversation is right now, to be
I
honest.
don't
with
really
you.
know.
Well, we just explained it to you.
No, you started talking about scat porn.
No, you started talking about scat. Fucking degenerate. I was saying like because
That's
you
my
mentioned
job,
you mentioned
not
mumble
yours.
rap, and I said why does mumble rap get such a bad rap? Because it's mumble, you can't understand it. But then
Yeah,
like people
that
turn
right there
around
would
and
be
but then
a good
people turn
reason.
around and say that scatting is art.
Dude, that's a horrible comparison because
No, it's not.
I've never even heard of scatting, so it clearly isn't on that level.
So then you're just
Hip-
uncultured.
No. Here's the thing. Right now, hip hop is the #1 genre, the most popular right now, clearly.
Who said it wasn't?
So it's gonna be under more scrutiny. I'll get like me with my YouTube channel. When I'm at my heights, I get fucking destroyed when my shit is booming.
that's
But when
fine.
when it's dormant, motherfuckers like whatever. It's just it goes under more scrutiny because there's more eyeballs on it and more people wanting to use that as a launching pad for whatever they're trying to do, whether it be an opinion on Twitter, whatever the case may be.
I mean, there's a lot of eyeballs on Kendrick Lamar, and that last album. What?
He's not scat.
I can actually put it in real simple terms. I think it's because mumble rap sucks, and there's really nothing inherently wrong with scatting.
Says who?
Oh,
Says this guy.
I make
Go ahead.
mumble rap.
I don't care. People can hate me all they want.
I make
I
mumble rap.
cannot tolerate mumble rap. Like,
Oh,
I can't.
I guess that's
It's
why
just
you listen to my music then.
Wait, you don't mumble? I was like, I
you
literally
do
listen
not
to your
mumble
stuff.
rap.
You've
at
heard
all.
one song.
No,
You
I
shouldn't
listen
even
to your
try to
whole
label
album.
yourself. You shouldn't label
No.
yourself like that. You're
Yeah.
not a mumble rapper at
Yeah,
all. You're
I would not call you a mumble rapper, not
At
even in the
all.
slightest.
You
So
see.
I can't remember who's that. When I think of mumble rappers, I think those dudes with like all the colorful hairs and they look like lollipops.
Yeah.
what, like a little pump?
Sure, yeah.
I don't think.
No, when I
don't-
think of the
Yeah.
Migos when I think of mumble rap. If I'm being honest,
Who's the one that went to jail or
and,
something?
and everybody's rapping like the Migos now. Young
Now,
Thug.
yeah.
No one's making better music than Young Thug.
No, the other guy. Oh,
Yeah, you
man.
heard me. You heard me. Fornev.
Yo,
Wait, so-
K Dot was
Wait.
like, what the fuck out of here?
Wait,
yo?
Rob, were you looking like a lollipop?
And K Dot had to go get the mumble rapper.
Hey, Rob, did you have a lollipop phase?
Kodak literally said,
I don't have hair for that.
I ain't gonna lie. I had a little bit of a phase of it, not necessarily lollipop, but when I was doing my whole run for like the Ultra Instinct shit, going out of character, because in retrospect, a lot of mistakes was made when I was trying to do that shit. But yeah, I had the fucking jewelry, the colorful hair, all of that shit. And honestly, I was so fucking empty at that point. And that's probably a deeper conversation of a lot of these motherfuckers are empty motherfuckers that somebody is throwing a check with money they've never seen in their life that they're never gonna be able to recoup and going on their merry way.
I mean, Mumble Wayne was making some of the greatest music that's ever graced the planet.
Who?
Mumble, Lil Wayne, when he was mumbling,
When was he mumbling?
when he started using autotune, post Carter 3, pre Carter 4.
So pretty much when he started declining.
No, Lollipop is like one of the most.
That's not a mumble song.
Yeah, I wouldn't call that mumble. I mean, okay, I'm not a rap expert by any stretch, so I'm not trying to claim I am. But I feel like we have different definitions of what mumble is.
Lil Wayne and T-Pain, I can't believe it. There was like half of a verse that no one could understand what the fuck he was saying.
It was auto tune, but that still wasn't mumble rap. Was literally like the Migos were the originators of mumble rap. Although I don't
Where
mumble-
you're mumbling, but you're not fully enunciating your words.
But mumble rap also-
i.e. Lil Wayne on lean. When
it came
he
with a
wasn't-
connotation to it of a little bit more of that Migos bopper. 100, 100, 100, 100, 100, 100.
So trap music.
Yeah, it's a little bit more complex than just saying that mumble rap is like anybody that mumbles. Because like right now, if I say a little rap and I'm mumbling it, that doesn't necessarily make it mumble rap.
You ask a lyrical rapper, that's exactly what they would say.
Depends on the lyrical rapper.
Royce 5'9".
Royce in particular has a very
Jay-Z.
interesting look at things. Like he'll say like he don't consider himself boom bap or whatnot, but somebody might say he's boom bap. So
So when I think of mumble rap, I think of like what you're actually saying. You're just literally speaking nonsense. Like there's really nothing to your words. You're just saying stuff that
I wouldn't
just
say nonsense.
You don't
Yeah.
think it's, but maybe that's nonsense to you because
like
you don't.
that's what I
relate
think
to
of
it.
like 6ix9ine. Like it's just
Oh,
to me,
so
when
you
I-
lost me right there. You lost me
Well,
right there.
So
'cause-
6ix9ine was a straight persona though, like
and not only that, that's not mumble rap.
like
that
an
was just
actual
some
plant.
that literally
Oh, wait, what?
a plant, and
what does that
also
mean?
It means
ripping
that
off sticky fingers.
it means he was manufactured to be put there by
Yeah.
the industry and then
my whole argument with a lot of what we've been talking about, that Rob
Whoa.
is now saying, hey, it exists, even though he was trying to act like, what are you talking about, man?
Huh?
You've been acting like you just
When did you
quiet
bring up
and mum.
industry plants?
Not industry plants, about manufacturing and money behind a lot of the bullshit that happens in hip hop.
That's not what the No. That's not what I was talking about.
Okay.
That's not what I was talking
Never
about.
mind.
That's completely different from what I was talking about.
Is it not the same idea of putting in money behind fucked up shit that's gonna destroy communities regardless?
No. In
Yeah,
industry,
You're being a
in-
contrarian right
no,
now.
I'm not.
I'm sorry.
Bro, you realize an industry plant is an artist who seems like they came up.
He
from
was more
this-
than an industry plant, dog. He did a lot of destruction to a lot of communities.
Yeah, but he was ushered in by the same with Lil Nas X. He was brought in by the label, groomed by the label for the specific persona to package and sell to the masses versus I'm going to go and find this kid that doesn't know anything. He's just really good at making music and put money behind it. It's not the same thing. That's not an industry plant. That's somebody
yeah.
that built a genuine fan base.
That's not that's not what I'm saying either. Of somebody that built a genuine fan base. I'm talking
That's
about like
what a
they
plant
find
is, though.
Look,
Someone who
perfect
did
example.
build
What's
a
the
fan base.
motherfucker? Which I could listen to it, but at the end of the day, I don't necessarily believe in it. Who I smoke. You finding a talented motherfucker that made a talented sounding ass song, and you putting millions of dollars behind it, regardless of the morality of, hey, you're literally.
That's not an industry plant.
But that's still doing the same type of destruction and damage, which has been my whole point to begin with. It's pushing forward. Money is pushing.
That's still not what I was
shit.
saying, though. You're taking what you were saying and applying
You're
it behind my concept
the
of him and
semantics
Tekashi.
man. Now I
Oh,
see now.
Wait.
The
What
the
about
man of
Isaac?
semantics.
Bro, this nigga brought up Tekashi.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie,
That's-
Chris. You lost my. I was so
it's-
like, yeah, Chris
it's-
actually saying some shit, yeah. And then when you put Tekashi and mumble rap, I was like,
It's not the same. Like, not even remotely.
pretend I'm whistling right now. I
So
can't.
then what would be Tekashi then if he's not mumble rap?
Shit, I ain't gonna lie. Like he had me. I ain't gonna lie.
That's what I consider mumble rap.
No, Tekashi doesn't make mumble rap because he definitely enunciates what he's saying. He just screams it to the
Screams
point
it.
that it's like peaking
Sticky
distortion.
Fingers. He was basically they took Sticky Fingers. His whole swag and ran with it.
I don't know what he would be considered, and it's not mumble. Mumble
Really?
would be like Young Thug, Gunna, Future, Migos, early Migos, like literally mumbling. Tekashi doesn't mumble. He's like Trippie Redd.
Tekashi's style, to a certain degree, is reflective of where his heart even was. Of this motherfucker don't even like or care about rap. Never really listened to rap. None of that shit. This motherfucker was walking around with shirts that say HIV, death, murder, rape, all sorts of shit. This was all for he could get the bag. This motherfucker never cared.
He was specifically causing destruction and mayhem
So he could get a check.
Yeah, so he can get on because he was sick of.
But
being a
he was
busboy.
more so like into, I don't know if it was black metal or some shit like that, and that's where that screaming shit. And then he got a writer that was like, "Oh, you like to scream? All right, I'll write your shit with a scream in it."
Okay.
But yeah, he's more of he's an experiment. We could put that right there. He was a industry experiment of how can we fuck up a lot of lives as quickly as possible and
plant.
make a lot of money.
Yeah. I'm not arguing that at all. That he's like he clearly he's like some kind of piece of shit or whatever.
He's a plant. He was raised by the industry for an agenda versus we found you and now we're going to make money off you and
Pump
take advantage
shit
of you
that,
and then get rid of you when we're done. An
but also
industry plant is-
pump mass destruction in urban communities. That's the main part that bothers me. Of why can't you find the talented motherfucker that made a song about how much he loves vegetables and put millions of dollars behind it, and then do that with the next artist and the next artist, and then all the companies follow suit, and then next thing you know, kids are actually having fun singing about vegetables because that's exactly how it happens.
right.
It's programming.
So then how would you say like your taste in music differs now from like when you were a kid then? Like how's your taste in music changed like as you got older?
Shinta, I want to hear real quick you with the My Chemical Romance. Was it always My Chemical Romance?
Was it My Chemistry Romance?
I used to hate them
Really? Interesting.
because back in high school they were so strongly associated with the emo label, and in high school I hated emo.
Well,
Hated
emo. There was a, I don't know if you would say a counter marketing campaign against it of like, oh my god, you a fucking little sad emo bitch, man up. So
No,
yeah.
yeah, that got to me at the time, and like it was to the point where I didn't even want to get near anything even associated with emo. So I didn't. I was like, fuck My Chemical Romance and fuck, Taking Back Sunday or whatever, all those emo bands. So I was like, and especially around the time that they were getting popular, I was actually like really into rap at the time.
Mumble rap.
There was no mumble
I
rap
don't-
back then.
I'm old, dude. Like,
Mumble emo.
He said, I'm old, dude.
Mumble emo music.
Okay, so
used-
here's my question: Would you count? Was it Triple Time like Twister and that shit? Would that be considered mumble rap?
Let me take you home. No, that's a different artist. Never mind. Fuck. I don't know why I thought that was Twister, right? Yeah, I
That
don't
was
know.
Bow Wow.
No,
Wait,
that was
sorry, are you
Terror
saying
Squad. She
Twista?
wanna take me home and lay.
Oh, that song. I
Daddy,
thought you
let
were
me
singing
take
the
you.
"Let Me Hold You." That.
Yeah,
Whatever.
no.
take me to the distant
The
past.
past, I want it so bad. Yeah, take me back to Cairo in the good old days.
Who outside of the Midwest was understanding like those fast rappers?
You said Twista, right?
Yeah.
He had that
Were
record
you
with
saying that-
Kanye.
Yeah.
What was it?
Dude,
Dude, my mom liked a lot of Twista records at his peak. Like he hit the mainstream. He was probably
Yeah.
the biggest that rapped at that level of fastness that penetrated mainstream media and mainstream music.
I liked him too. Well, I get his peak anyway. I thought he was good. But I wouldn't call him mumble because he's actually enunciating words. He's just saying really fast.
Some people couldn't understand it. A lot of people
Well,
actually.
not understanding it is like that's your own thing. But it's
Mumbling?
like, but he's
Like,
not
okay,
mumbling.
are we gonna call Joyner Lucas a mumble rapper? Come on.
Yes.
Oh, get the fuck out of here! No, now you fucking tripping. No.
So
no,
is
no.
Eminem a mumble rapper then?
He would probably try to be just to prove a point.
Lately, Eminem has not lately. I'm sorry. There's been some records where it's like, dog, you have so much talent. If you just added substance into some of the shit, where like he's doing toe flow, Joe, roll, glow, blow, blow, roll, and it's like just add a little bit because like Eminem when he is rapping normally and he's not trying to do all that crazy wordplay. He's had a lot of really great shit. You know what I'm saying? Like Eminem has classics upon classics. It's just that I don't know how many years now he thinks that being like an automatic engine of rapid wordplay is the route. And I don't know if that's intentional just to keep on the talk of he doesn't stop rapping fast and because people think he's so talented for that. But if he would just add some substance to the Tojo flow, bro, go, blah, 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 like it would be dope.
I used to listen to a lot of Eminem when I was growing up. I listened to the Slim Shady LP, the Marshall Mathers LP.
Revival.
No, I didn't listen to Revival. I listened to the Eminem.
You never
show.
listened to his best album?
I fell off.
He's
after-
trolling you right now.
I'm not trolling. That is his best album.
I
That
fell
is-
off after Eminem show.
That was about his fall off, to be honest with you. Encore was a terrible album content wise. Like
Encore?
sonically, most of the shit, dog. He's talking about like he has a whole song just making fun of Christopher Reeves, okay? Come on.
Do you guys listen to anime music?
Hey,
Yeah,
Christopher
this
Reeves had it
motherfucker trying to
coming.
jump off of him making fun of Christopher Reeves for a whole song and saying like, yo, no. Encore has some bad shit. Revival, whoa. Do you think Encore is better than Revival?
Bro, I don't even remember half the songs on Revival.
Revival,
Oh, so then you can't
struggle.
criticize it like that.
It was because it wasn't worth remembering.
You bugging. Revival was easily, if not his best, one of his best.
Wait, I'm just trying to remember. Revival came right before. So he's got 2 newer albums out now.
It came right before Kamikaze.
Kazi.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of then.
He came with
the American
Kamikaze.
flag on it or whatever.
Bro, that
Yeah.
album was not good.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, you wildin'.
No, I like.
It's an important album. It's a
'Cause
very
no,
fucking
brother,
important
you
album.
had because that was a really bad run for him. Slim Shady LP2.
Are we talking about success or are we talking about the quality of it? Because yes,
quality of it.
success-wise, it was a bad run. Everybody
No,
shit
the
it.
quality of it. Like he had not good concepts. Like
Ah.
everything
think
that he
my-
was experimenting with, he actually landed on music to be murdered by.
My only problem with Revival was, I think it's just mainly it wasn't what he was saying. It was just mostly it wasn't catchy enough. It didn't like have a good rhythm to it that could like grasp my attention. So as I'm listening to it, I'm just like getting bored and just kind of falling off.
Like,
That's how
okay,
I felt with
perfect
Revival.
example. I just thought of a record that is monumental and mature and where Eminem needed to be is just, again, whatever happened. But Bad Husband. How you a good father, great dad, but a bad husband. That record is fucking amazing. That's on Revival. See, I didn't listen to Revival. Y'all
Did
went
he
off of...
sing that like a country singer? Because if he did, then I'd be like, I would immediately just tone that out. Like,
No, it was
I was like,
he's rapping and got an R&B artist on the hook. It's just I sound like
Okay.
a country singer when I sing.
Walk on Water, cool song. Believe, forgettable. Chloroseptic, forgettable.
Get the fuck out of here. The remix with that shit especially?
Forgettable.
Nah,
River,
you bug.
cool. Remind Me, forgettable. Like Home, Alicia Keys, forgettable. Bad Husband.
Alicia Keys is forgettable,
Bad Husband.
but that Bad Husband, amazing record. That was Eminem's shot out of 444.
Tragic Endings.
Amazing record. I
any
love
song
that
with
record.
Skylar Grey is
Wait,
garbage.
what is 444 mean?
Jay-Z?
The album by Jay-Z.
Oh, okay. I thought that was like slang for something. I was
No,
just
no,
like,
no, no.
Bro, this album is ass.
Get the hell out of here. No. You didn't
Yo,
even listen to it. That's the big thing, is that you didn't listen to it.
Bro, I've
Rob.
literally listened to every Eminem album on release.
Listen
But
to
Rob,
it
you should
again.
like it. You should like it because you're an ass man.
You think you're fucking slick there, good old Shin Dizzle. Okay,
Is
I'm
Kendrick
gonna go
Lamar-
through the thing real quick. Walk on Water.
Clearly, this is the music podcast episode.
Walk on Water, dope record, needed some drums. Believe, decent record. Chloroseptic, especially the remix. Untouchable, fuck, what was that record? That's a River.
Bro, there's no
that's
way
a
you're
great
telling me
pop
this
record.
album is better than Music to Be Murdered By. There's absolutely no way.
I've never really sat and compared those two because most of the time I've never sat and compared. I've listened. I've never sat and really compared Music to Be Murdered By because that came after, and the stench always comes from. But he had that Revival album that was. Let me just carry on. Remind Me, that wasn't a great record, admittedly. No, but I'm being honest though. Do you want me to? I'm not trying to cape. I'm just keeping it real. Like Home with Alicia Keys. How do you feel with Alicia Keys? Bad Husband, amazing record. Tragic Endings, amazing record. Framed, kind of forgettable. Nowhere Fast, alright record. Heat, admittedly, I don't remember what the fuck that is. Offended, I will say right now, Need Me featuring Pink, I fucking hate that record.
Bro,
Terrible
you
song.
just med over half the album.
No, I did not. Let me carry on. In Your Head, amazing record. Castle, amazing record. And A Rose, amazing record. He closed out the album very fucking strong.
Music to Be Murdered By, Premonition, off rip.
Let me go to music so I could look while you doing it.
Unaccommodating with Young Ma. You Gonna Learn with Royce. Those Kind of Nights, Ed Sheeran. In Too Deep. Godzilla with Juice WRLD. Darkness. Leaving Heaven. Yaya. Stepdad. Marsh. Never Love Again. Little
Okay,
Engine,
you win.
Garbage.
But okay, Revival's number 2 then.
Number 2?
Yeah. Okay,
Oh.
Revival's number 2 then.
Over
We'll
Eminem
put
LP?
that. See, you guys are thinking with nostalgia.
I'm
You
not
guys are
thinking with
thinking.
Bro.
You're thinking with the beats sounded way cool on those ones. You're not going with the subject matter and the content and what is being delivered.
Oh, for
Marshall
me,
Mathers LP, Kill You, Stan, Who Knew, The Way I Am, The Real Slim Shady, Remember Me, I'm Back.
Nostalgia.
Marshall Mathers?
Do you know how? Yo, do you know how much a lot of those records aged so poorly if you listen back to the production,
Bro.
the hit, every.
So you're telling me that you throw on The Way I Am and it aged poorly?
You motherfucker gonna bring up one of the most popular
You throw on
songs in
Stan,
existence.
you throw on
One of the
Stan
most
and it aged poorly?
popular songs in existence.
You throw on Marshall Mathers and it aged poorly. You throw on Drug Ballad. You throw on
Just
Drug
Marshall
Ballad.
Mathers.
Amity
Mockingbird.
I'm just a regular
Toy
guy. I don't
Soldiers.
know why all the fuss about me.
Yeah, brother, like Under the Influence.
Nobody
Kim?
ever gave a fuck before.
I think
These
all we're
assholes
just-
doubt
okay.
me.
I think.
Assholes
Wait, hold
doubt
on
me.
a sec. I think you're
Running
also
in the middle.
forgetting how well the Marshall Mathers LP complemented the Slim Shady LP as well, because those two were two halves of the same coin, and Marshall Mathers LP had made callbacks to the Slim Shady LP. You just can't downplay that sort of thing. That sort of stuff was what made those two albums.
But what
so
is the?
important.
But what is so
Dude,
what
Curtain
is
Call
rich
was-
about any of that content of
Curtain
him
Call
wanting to
is
kill
better.
his wife, him wanting to rape his mother? Like, let's be real here. A lot of that shit is beyond filth. A lot of that shit is like he's a sick motherfucker for making those records.
Okay, Tyler the Creator was doing the same shit, and it was great music.
And he's sick for that if he was doing that. I don't know about Tyler's catalog like that.
So,
Okay,
death
but
metal.
then that's why he made the song Stand, to make it clear, like, hey. But that's why he wrote the song Stand, because he's trying to make it clear, like, hey, I'm playing a character. I don't
Yes.
actually mean that shit.
He said many a times none of this shit is real, and they've even said in their creation of Slim Shady, right, D12, the goal was to say, yo, what if we said the most fucked up shit that we could come up with? Like, they never like say, yo, you guys should go out and do this shit.
Was that, or was that the way to dress up fucked up shit that they recorded when they were blasted out their mind in the studio? And okay, well, what's the marketing campaign so we don't sound like a bunch of straight up nut jobs?
Did you grow up in Detroit?
I'm not saying that Detroit ain't crazy and all that stuff, and
I'm just saying, because before them there was Esham,
Okay, I grew up 3 hours away from Detroit. All right,
and
Facts.
that's exactly the
Trudeau
shit
was right there.
and that's the exact shit that
me
they
and
was
Trudeau
on.
were hanging out.
Even in the scene of battle rapping, that's the type of rap that they were doing.
What,
Were you
Justin
like
Trudeau?
high-fiving? Yo, Chris, were you
Shock
high-fiving
value.
Nardwar?
Yep,
Yo,
whoever that is.
you don't watch
You don't know who
Nardwar?
Nardwar?
I don't know what that is.
You don't know
There's
Nardwar?
no- He's Canadian.
Doot doodly doot doot.
Dude, he's literally one of the biggest interviewers in the world, and he's from Canada, and he reps Canada on his back, like really hardcore.
Really?
Yeah,
Dude,
look him
British
up.
Columbia.
Nardwar is
British
like
Columbia,
probably,
yeah. Welcome to British Columbia, Canada.
Nardwar is probably like one of the greatest music interviewers of all time.
Of all
He
time.
is the greatest, hands down. Like, come on, this dude will fucking tell you about shit you forgot about from your childhood, and you're like, how the fuck do you know that?
I will never forget, like, one guy he was interviewing. The guy's like, you know guys from my block?
Yo, a lot of people be like, yo, Narwhal gotta be with the feds or something, because there's
Yeah.
certain things like he'll know, like, yo, that your favorite chips was from a store named fucking Roscoe's on 34th and Main, and like this motherfucker will just know things that's like, how the fuck do you know that?
Yo, he did an interview with Kendrick, and it was the funniest thing because he pointed out
I just recently rewatched that shit, yeah.
he pointed out a restaurant that Kendrick ate at, and then he's like, so what did you order there? And he was like saying it slowly because I think he kind of expected Nardwar to tell him what he ordered.
He caught on, and I'm sure by that point, K-Dot was like, oh, he's with the feds. How the fuck do you know some of this shit? And then remember what the Cole one? That one
Cole
kind of
was
struck
like,
me.
how the fuck you know this shit?
Well, let me throw you a reverse Uno on that one. What if Cole just told him beforehand? We dress up the score.
Dun,
Give me
dun,
that,
dun.
brother.
All right, so we gotta keep it moving because we're already at an hour and a half. And
So My Chemical Romance.
so My Chemical.
We're saying,
How do you guys feel about? Oh, do you want to actually continue My Chemical Romance?
I would.
Okay.
Okay, so
Dale, mijo, dale con todo.
Yeah, I think it's fair.
So
We
this
keep
is-
cutting him off.
Yeah,
this
yeah.
is my favorite album by the band, The Black Parade. Now, one of the things I think is really great about this album is that all the songs are great. And it's a concept album. And you don't need to know shit about the concept in order to enjoy the album. Now, I
But
want
what's
to
the
ask
concept?
The concept is that it's about a cancer patient who's passing away, and he's being greeted by death. And each song is like either from the perspective of the patient or from the perspective of death. So like the patient will say something, he's kind of like, woe is me about my life, and then the death is like, fuck you, bitch.
I wish I didn't know that, because I was actually really going to dig into that one, but knowing that going into it makes me feel a little uneasy, because I've been
that's-
really getting more into rock and roll and shit, and just thinking that as I'm listening will probably fuck with me. Personal reasons.
Would that stop
Here's
you
the thing.
from
Okay,
listening
there's
Ready
more
Die?
to it than that. I'm simplifying it a bit. Ultimately, it is kind of like a more because
It's a
it's
morbid
not
album.
actually what
Morbid, like it's a morbid, dark album.
it's kind of morbid, but it's not as morbid as I'm making it seem.
Yeah,
but,
because you
like-
just got me like all the way depressed telling me that shit. Like, god damn.
Yeah. So like the songs by the patient are him like reflecting on his life, and then and then Death is kind of like has like a response to that. It's like, yeah, but like you weren't that great of a guy, and how are you actually that much better than how these people live their lives? But then eventually, Death, it starts to get to him that this person was is his life is being snuffed out, before his time. And the reason is because this isn't the real Grim Reaper. The metaphysics of how it works is not really made clear. But there's a song on it called Mother, which that song, it doesn't make sense from the perspective of the patient, but if you look at it as the backstory of whoever this Death character is, it could be that he's relating to the patient because he has his own kind of sordid backstory. And now he's starting to realize, like, hey, me and this guy, how we lived our lives was not that different before I became what I am now. And so the way that the album ends is like he now has respect for the patient, and he's going to like take him to heaven, and with now that he has like this newfound respect for how he lived his life, and this and the way that it ended basically.
Okay, I just hit download. I'm gonna give it a shot. You probably can't see, but
But the thing that makes the concept kind of hard to pin down though is that the songs were intentionally put out of order, and the reason why is because Gerard specifically wanted.
it starts off with the end.
Yeah, and because Gerard wanted the songs to stand on their own. He wanted the concept to be second. He wanted the songs themselves to be good, and for people to focus on the quality of the songs first, and to be able to relate to the lyrical content on its own rather than connecting it to the overall narrative.
That's very interesting because with my album, I purposely sequenced it in reverse just because I didn't want to end, because my album was called My Beautiful Hell. You've heard it, whatchamacallit.
Yes.
Very, a lot of heavy shit, and I was like, okay, I gotta end on a positive note and end with Ultra Instinct, despite the fact that I felt it would be the way I wanted to do it was a roller coaster ride of starting really heavy and then like getting crazy, whatever. But yeah, I kind of sequenced it backwards, and then even to further throw it off, I put a prequel story outro where it's music from before when I was younger, and then a tale with it. So I love shit like that because I like when there's even purpose behind the sequencing of each track and shit like that.
Kendrick does that a lot.
Of course, Kendrick Wood, he's goat shit.
Big did that a lot. Biggie Smalls.
Wait, so when are we gonna get the My Chemical Romance and oh, my brain just melted. Hold on. I lost my train of thought.
It's all good. We've been doing this shit for like 3 hours.
Yeah.
4 actually.
I wanted to ask though.
Oh,
how
shit.
How do you guys feel about concept albums in general? Just like
I
an
love
album
concept
that's
albums.
It just got to be done right.
A conversation that me and my uncle had is that if you like really think about it, like all of the classic, at the very least, rap albums. I don't know about rock albums, but all of the albums that are deemed classics that stood the test of time are all concept albums that can paint a picture for you from point A to point Z.
Holy shit, that's a very good one. Ready to Die, Life After Death, Get Rich or Die Trying. Sad that they all have dying in them, but it's the industry. But the concept of like 50 Cent's whole thing is what sold you on him, of he was gonna get rich or die trying.
Yep. Volumes 1 through 3, Blueprint. American Gangster.
American Gangster is a soft classic, I would say. Like, there's probably a lot of Jay-Z fans in particular that wouldn't put it as his best. I love American Gangster, but I don't hear the praise that it deserves.
I think the biggest, in terms of rock, the biggest, most celebrated concept album is Pink Floyd's The Wall.
Do you guys actually feel like the ending can make or break the story?
The ending is paramount.
No.
You know why.
Yeah.
Yes.
I know.
Yes.
I know.
I think it can. I think it does.
Attack on Titan.
Promise Neverland.
Well, Promise Neverland started falling apart way before the ending, but
Demon Slayer.
Wait, are we talking mangas or are we talking anime?
manga, anime.
Oh,
Whatever.
Not just manga anime, but because a TV show too.
show,
right?
yeah.
I think it depends on the ending, obviously.
How I Met Your Mother.
The ending was pretty bad.
But that was
How
that was because they knew the kids were eventually gonna grow up, so they had to film this shit season 2.
That's not why it was.
Were...
That's not why it was bad though. It was bad because of ultimately happens with Ted and who he ends up with. And
Yeah.
why,
because
and
that's
why.
because the
Spoiler
series kept
alert.
I'm not gonna. That's because the series kept expanding past that point and took the character in different directions. That the vision was set around season 2 of this is what's going to happen, but because they had to keep extending it and make creative plots each and every week that's gonna get ratings, it led them to him having a conclusion of that's not what I should be doing or where I should be, and then ultimately because they had to stick to that ending, which is what changed my mind entirely about having an ending set in stone. That is a terrible idea when you look at How I Met Your Mother.
They had an alternate.
By the
thing
way, I
is,
don't know.
the
just
ending was
look.
The ending was so poorly received that they made an alternate ending that made more sense than the original ending.
They did.
Yeah. Yeah, they
Yes.
did.
I didn't know that shit. Wow.
Yeah,
What was the
and-
old? Oh fuck, you can't say it.
In the alternate ending, that didn't happen.
Wow, I gotta look that shit up when we get off here. I didn't know that.
Yep.
No, yeah, I remember seeing it and I was like, yeah, I would have been a lot happier with this.
It was a way better ending, and it made more sense for what they put us through for 10 years.
I agree.
What anime is this? What are we talking about right now?
It's not an anime, you fucking.
Oh, that's the call. Yo, we're the whatever the fuck you want to call this podcast. I'm Fornev. Have an awesome day. Yeah.
I'm Rob DiLucci.
Daniel Santos.
Chris Coelho.
Sort of
Quaaludes.
Ananda Scott.
We got
Chris Quaaludes.
Coelho, the Brazilian author.
Yo, no, let's not manifest that shit. Next thing you know, he's getting arrested. The pot is a wrap. Like, no.
Wait, but where the fuck are you getting Quaaludes?
Have an awesome day. We're out of here, people.
One.